Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time since I've filmed. Luckily, school is over with for the summer, so I'll have a lot of time to film and everything. I think today we're going to do like a navy kind of cut crease to kind of match the shirt that I have on. So, I'll just stop talking and we'll get to it. I already went ahead and primed the skin. I used my trusty Smashbox Oil and Shine Control Primer. I think for the eyes, I'm going to use the Anastasia Eye Primer, because this one's really good for really bright looks that you want to have the most color payoff, so I'll just hurry up and put that on real quick. And the thing that's funny is, like, with this, you don't need a lot, so, like, and it comes in a pretty big tube. I almost bought the travel size when I first bought it, but I was like, I'll buy the full size, and I was like, I could have gone away with buying the travel size, but it's fine. I'm so glad that school's over with. Like, it was getting to the point where it was, like, so unbearable. Like, there was times I couldn't even relax. Like, it was just a constant on-the-go thing. If anyone here watching this goes to college, you know what I'm talking about. It just becomes a constant hustle. So, luckily, I have 3 months to relax and not worry about it. And another thing I like to do with this eye primer, I like to take the sponge and blend it out, which I got my beauty blender here, so I'll do that. I went to Ulta yesterday, and I actually self-tanned this morning for the first time. I don't know if you can tell. Because, like, we got the medium shade of that Tanologist tanning water, and, you know, I didn't want to do anything too dark for it being my first time doing, like, a self-tanner. I think it turned out fine. I honestly don't know if it's dark enough, but for me doing it for the first time, it's probably fine. But I'm just glad it didn't turn out like an Oompa Loompa, so I guess that's a success. Some other stuff I got from Ulta, I got some new shampoo. I got one of those, products from that Eva NYC that, it's like a leave-in smoothing product that's supposed to help with, like, frizz and all that, and I used it today. I think it worked pretty good. I also got one of the new ColourPop Limoncello Cream Gel Eyeliners. It's the one in the shade, I think it's, like, Extra Frosting. Yeah, it's this one. Which I really like. It's very brightening for, like, the waterline, and I'm excited to use that. Hopefully it kind of works with the look we're doing today. Because it's like a lightish kind of yellow, but it's not like, you know, highlighter level. So I think we'll be fine. I'm going to finish blending this out. After I get this blended out, we'll go and do the brows real quick. I actually went ahead and did the brows off camera. I'm filming an Instagram reel while I'm doing this, so things might get a bit wonky, but I'll go over it. So I used the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade 3.75. I bought this during the 21 Days of Beauty, and I've really liked it so far, especially if you have, like, really thick brows. It just gives you that little dash of pigment that you don't want to take, like, a full-on pencil and, like, really carve it out. So this is really nice for quick and easy days that you don't want to do a whole lot, and I like it, so this might be a new repurchase for me in the future. I'm going to go in with the Morphe 39A palette. I'm going to use the navy blue shade in there to kind of start making the cut crease. We're going to go a little bit higher than usual, as I've talked about in the past. I'm going to go in with this one, that really dark navy shade. I'm going to take this on an angled brush from Essence. That way we can really, like, get the shape that we want in the top there. Take that. You want to make sure that you get a lot on there so that way you get good color payoff, but make sure you tap it off too just to make sure there's no pieces of fallout or anything like that. So I think one thing I also do is kind of make sure you pat out the area before you put it on. We're going to go probably about right here. I'm going to start kind of making that shape. And kind of just dragging it across there, developing that line. You want to make sure you can get a really high cut crease, that way it's evident that you did one, because there's been so many times where I did mine too low and it just looked like a normal eyeshadow look. So you just want to make sure that you really make it evident that it's there. And then I'll probably go back in with the blending brush and blend out that top part. Went ahead and did the other eye off camera. As you can tell, we kind of got that shape distinguished. We're going to clean it up later, so it'll be okay if it looks a little off right now. I think now we're going to take the makeup remover and we're going to kind of cut the inside of it. I'm going to go in with the Simple Micellar Water, and I'm going to take this flat brush. I don't know what brand it's from, but it's kind of similar to like the Real Techniques one. So I'm going to take this and just dip the brush into it and kind of just take it along the line and clean it up. This is one of the best techniques that I've figured out, as I talked about in my last cut crease video. It just really makes it look better and it just simplifies the whole process. So I'm just going to take this and kind of just follow it along where we put that. And we can reapply the primer later if that's something that we're concerned about. You just want to make sure that you get the sharpest line possible. Which I would say that one's pretty sharp. I'm going to try to line it up with this eye. It's funny because, like, I usually try to be, like, really talkative, but when I'm doing this, I'm, like, focused in. Okay. I might get a little more of that. Oh, that might have been a little too much. Having a moment. Good God. Okay. Okay, we about lost our eye there, so I had to cut that off short so I could save my eye. I'm trying to make it so that, like, when I look down, like they match. This is kind of the area I'm kind of concerned about at the moment, because I'm just trying to make sure that that one doesn't look like higher than the other. I think a lot of it might have to do with the ends of this too. So hopefully that looks straight. Alright, our hair's looking crazier by the minute, but we'll just deal with it. The barrette kept falling out, so I had to fix it. I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Incognito Concealer. I'm going to fix the cut crease there, just to reestablish that color that got taken away. I'm going to take that on this Profusion brush. At first I really didn't like this concealer. I thought it was too thin, but the more that I used it, the more that I've used it, I like it more, because even though it's thin, it's lightweight and it actually covers pretty well. So I kind of had to get used to how it was. Just kind of reestablish that primer and that base that we lost. And we'll do that on the other eye. We're going to go in with the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Liberty. It's this nice silvery shade. And then we're going to go back in with another color on the cut crease line, but I'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to take it on that same flat top brush that we used for the makeup remover. I cleaned it off, so it'll be fine. I'm just going to take this and kind of follow with where we put the cut crease base shade and all that. The ColourPop Super Shock Shadows are some of the best ones on the market. You get really great color payoff and super affordable, so it's a win-win. And the thing that's nice about these is they're kind of like a cream to powder finish. So when you put them on, they're like really creamy and easy to apply. I haven't used this shade in a long time, so it's kind of nice to bring it back out again. Yeah, this can almost be like an icy look. I really like how that looks. To wet the brush, I used the Morphe mattifying mist. I've actually kind of figured out a way to make this useful. If you remember in one of my last videos, the nozzle on this was like really bad. I had to like really get into the top here and clean it out, and it finally started to mist correctly. I still use it more as like an eyeshadow mixing medium. I don't really use it much for the face anymore, but it's good for eyeshadows. So this is where things are going to get fun. I'm going to take these makeup pigments from Mayo Makeup. They're like an indie online makeup brand that I bought these from. We're going to go in with this neon orange one, and we're going to take it in the cut crease here. I haven't done a look like this in a long time, so I'm pretty excited for it. So I decided to bring the camera a little bit closer, that way you guys can get a good glimpse of what I'm doing in this part. I'm going to take this, I'm going to dip it into the little bit of powder here. Not a whole lot. Since pigments are very different from eyeshadows, these are the pigments that will make the color of your eyeshadow. So this is like the true color that you find in your eyeshadows, because eyeshadows that are pressed, a lot of different things are mixed in with it, but this is like the true color. So this is the product that's really going to knock it out of the park in terms of color payoff, since it's that pure pigment. So I'm going to tap off the excess of this as much as possible, because we really don't want it to get into anywhere else but where we want it. So I'm going to start here and start stamping it into that inner line there. That way we can really develop the color along the way. Another trick that I saw recently is that some people take a duo lash glue and they draw where they want the powder or the pigment, and they'll stamp it on there so that it sticks. I think that's a great idea. I probably should have done that for this, but it just popped in my head just now. As you can see, the orange is there. Kind of just doing light patting motions. Because you just want to really make sure that you stay in there. The ones that I have this one, I have the yellow one and the purple one. So they're pretty good. I don't use them all the time, because I only use them for looks like this. Yeah, that's that. I'm actually going to take the Duo Lash Glue and try to do it on this side, and we'll see if it works. Alright, I got the Duo Lash Glue on the brush. I'm just going to follow the line like we did last time. You can definitely feel it like getting tacky because of the nature of the glue. Yeah, that's definitely a different texture, because I've never done this before. Kind of just stamping it on there. You can see where it starts to kind of string out. I guess we'll see if it works. I'm going to go back in with the red now. Not red, the orange. Okay. So right off the bat, you can definitely tell that it provides a good like gripping mechanism for it. The thing I'm worried about though is it gonna make it look like weird on the texture? I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I like this. Because I don't want it to have like a weird wrinkly texture, if you know what I mean. I actually might take my tweezers and try to pull off, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a little glob of glue here. Yeah, I'm not really liking the look of that. Ow, God, I'll pinch myself. Trying to grip it. Okay, I'm gonna try to go back in with the color and kind of fix that. Because, I don't know, it had a weird texture. It was trying to ball up. It looks okay. I think this eye turned out much better, but we'll deal with it. So I think I'm just going to go straight into mascara and lashes. I kind of like the clean look of this, so I don't really want to put any eyeliner on. So I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes. I'm going to use the Maybelline Sky High mascara, if I can find it. And we're just dropping everything today. I love when it gets foamy. It's like... I'm going to go in with the eyelash curler and curl them. I've been really happy with this one that I got. It was from Revlon. I probably need to get a new bottle of this soon. It definitely volumizes well. I feel like I don't have that much to talk about today. I mean, other than like finishing the semester and everything, I'm trying to think of stuff to talk about, but it just feels like there's not a lot going on right now. I've been thinking about doing a candle collection video, because I've had a couple people request that, and I'd love to do it. The only thing that kind of worries me is that I have a lot. The last time I counted them, I had 110, which I have bought some recently since then, so that probably already went up. It's an ever-changing number. Because I went to the Bath & Body Works buy 2, get 2 free sale with the candles last weekend. So, yeah, not 110 anymore. And I bought a candle at TJ Maxx yesterday, too, so... Alright, we're gonna head into the lashes next. For lashes, I'm gonna go in with the Kiss My Lash But Better one in the shade, well, not shade, in the style All Mine. I'm gonna take these out of the package and prep them. So far, I think that I've kind of developed a true meaning and kind of figured out how to do lashes by now. It took me a really long time to learn how to do it. Like, when I first tried to do it, I was like, I'm never gonna figure this out, you know, throw them in the trash. But everything takes practice, and it's not something that you learn overnight. It's just constant practice with it and just figuring out what works for you in terms of style and all that. And I definitely recommend, if you're a beginner, I would recommend the Black Lash Glue. I have that one also. This one has the aloe in it. It's like the strip lash adhesive that's like the sensitive one. So it works good, especially if you're a beginner, because if you have like eyeliner like along the lash line, it kind of blends in with it, so it's not as noticeable. Because one thing I've noticed with regular lash glue, like the clear, like the one I'm using right now, if you mess it up, it can actually take your eyeliner off if you have that on there, so you kind of want to be careful with that. I'm just coating the lash there. I'm going to let it get tacky for a little bit. This is going to go on the left eye, which is probably your right, but you get the point. Okay. I feel like lately I've been getting more into the eyeliner with the lash look, just because, like, for a long time I didn't like how I looked with just mascara. I thought there was always something missing. It kind of made my eyes look kind of small without it. But I've gotten used to it, so this is probably getting ready to get tacky, so I'm going to go and take this and apply it along the lash line. And sometimes you can accidentally not apply enough glue. I've done it a lot. And sometimes you kind of have to take it off and try again. Yeah, that one's on. Looks good. Kind of make sure you get it stamped in there well. That's kind of why I like using the tweezers instead of my fingers, because it's more precise and you can really get in there with them. Alright, we got both lashes on, all secured and everything. I'm going to go in a foundation. I'm going to go in with the Ordinary foundation. I got this yesterday, and they have a whole new display at Ulta with all of these, so I'm pretty excited to try it out. I'm trying to decide. I might use it as a brush, like with a brush, because this is pretty thin. Because I kind of did like a swatch test last night, and it's kind of a thinner consistency. So I think I'm going to do a brush maybe on one side and a sponge on the other. But I kind of want to see which way is the best way to apply it, because it's not like a normal consistency that you'd find in foundations. So this is the shade 1.1N Fair Neutral. I'm going to shake this up, make sure it's all blended together. Got something on my shirt. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to pump it out. I'll start with one pump and see where that gets us. And I'm just kind of take it and go in. Hopefully this matches okay, because since I did the self-tan today, I don't know how that'll look. It smells kind of nice. Kind of a fresh smell. It looks like it has a very natural finish. Got an easy blendability. I like it. I would say, after looking at the shade range yesterday, they've got pretty good shades for like fair people and very good shades for people on the deeper end. I feel like the only issue that they might have is where the middle, like medium shades are. It just kind of seemed like it was kind of inconsistent. I didn't really understand the color story there. Hopefully they can expand in the middle. It was just very inconsistent. It would go from like a warm shade to like a pink warm, and then it would kind of go off. It was kind of weird. So hopefully they get enough shades that have the right undertones in that area. So far I like this. We'll have to see if it oxidizes. I don't know. I just decided to use the brush for the whole thing because it's just faster that way. But I like it. We'll have to see how it wears. I've heard a lot of people either like this or they hate it. It's one of those products where you're either on one end or the other. There's not really a middle. Like, I kind of like it. It's either great or never want to touch it again. And I feel like everyone's kind of on that with some products. Which, like, right now, I'm seriously contemplating returning that Tarte concealer because it never lasts on my eyes. I couldn't figure out a way to make it stop creasing here. Which is really disappointing because I was excited to try it. But I'm going to use a sponge to kind of blend out some of the excess. But it's unfortunate. I just think it was too hydrating for my skin. So I'll probably end up returning that. Yeah, so far this has a really nice finish. It's very glowy. And it doesn't really look like foundation. Like, it looks pretty skin-like, which is nice. I'll go ahead and blend the rest of it off camera. I'm going to go back in with that Wet n Wild Incognito concealer under the eyes and kind of just draw out some lines there. I'll take the Beauty Blender sponge and blend it out. I really need to get a new one. This one's kind of getting beat up. And then on the end here, we're kind of clean it up a little bit where that shadow ends. I've started getting the new Ipsy bags lately. I signed up for that because someone I follow on my Instagram had one of the links that gave you the free Ipsy bag for the first month. So I kind of dove into that. I've been happy so far. One of the products I'm going to use today is from the one that I got this month, which was like last week. And I've really been happy with it. It's a blush, so we'll get into that later. But I've been happy with the little bag so far, especially the new one. Hopefully Okay, sorry about that. My phone kind of whacked out when I was trying to film that, so I'm going to go ahead and set my under eye with the Wet n Wild, not Wet n Wild, the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade Fair. I hate it when you're trying to film and your phone says low storage. So I'm going to take that, stamp it under the eye, kind of get a good layer there. I will do that on the other end too. Make sure that's blended out. The last thing you want to do is set any creases, so take that and stamp it there. And while we're here, I'll just go ahead and set the rest of the face too. This is probably my favorite drugstore powder. I like that it has like the pigment with it and the color, so it's not like, you're not going to get any kind of flashback with it, and it doesn't make you look ghostly, so it's good. And they got a lot of different shades too. I really hope that the Ordinary foundation works out, because it was only like $6 something. So super affordable, and you know, from anything from the Ordinary is pretty good, so. Hopefully my phone doesn't scream again. Alright, we'll move into bronzer. We're going to let that bake for a little bit. I'm going to go in with the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. I'm going to take it on this angled brush, as always. And just kind of put the bronzer onto the sides. If you guys have any looks, one thing I'm doing right now with my Snapchat and my Instagram is I'm letting people draw out a makeup look for me, and I do it, and I post them on Instagram and Snapchat. If you guys have an idea that you would like to send in, feel free to do it. I'd love to do them. I find they're pretty fun, and especially if you get like creator's block, like you can't think of anything, it's really good to kind of get those creative juices flowing. I'm kind of surprised I haven't hit pan on this yet, because I've had this for at least like 2 years now, and I use it all the time, because it's kind of weird. I thought I would have hit pan on it by now, because I basically use it every time I do my makeup. I've started using like my Too Faced one and some other ones, but this is kind of the sole one that I use. Alright, I'll do the other side off camera. So now to the blush I was talking about earlier that I got in my Ipsy bag this month. This is the Contour de Force Mini Blush in the shade Peach Peak from the Sugar Makeup brand. It's this color. I really like it, and it's got something to it, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the contour part, but I feel like it really lifts my cheekbones, especially like when I put it like higher up than usual in kind of this area. So I'm really excited about this, and it's kind of become my new favorite blush too, so I need to take this bake off real quick. There's times where I've forgotten to take the bake off before I do the blush, and then it kind of gets all weird, so I'm going to take off that too. Alright, now I can go into the blush. I'm going to take that on this Real Techniques 004 brush, and I'm just going to kind of tap in there and kind of just going with it. I've got my leg against the tripod. Probably shouldn't do that. Kind of take that and just kind of fluff it around. I probably need to turn this light off. It's on my makeup mirror. I want to see how much of a difference it makes when I turn it off. If I can get it turned off. Kind of. I kind of want to make sure that you could see the blush on this side, so I turned it off just for that reason. It just gives it a really nice youthful glow. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I'll go back in with it on the side too. I would definitely repurchase this in the full size, because this is like the mini size. So, I would definitely repurchase it. I think I always like peach blushes, you already know about that. But this one's a really flattering shade, and I think it would look good on a lot of people. So now we're going to go in with highlight. I'm going to take the BH Cosmetics Desert Oasis palette. I'm going to take the shade Serenity, which is this one, on the Morphe M532. I'm going to take that, tap off the excess, put that on the bridge of the nose, a little bit on the Cupid's bow, and some on the top of the chin. See, I think, yeah, oh. The shadow, when I had this holding up, made my neck look really dark. I was like, where did that come from? I'm going to take that on the top of the cheekbone here. I'm going to take a little bit into the inner corner of the eye, too, just to kind of brighten up. I need to go back in with that ColourPop eyeliner I was talking about so I can show you guys how it brightens the eye. Alright, I'm going to take the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Extra Frosting. It's kind of this little, it looks really yellow, but when you look at it, it's really not. I'll swatch it here. You can tell it's not that yellow. It's just kind of a pale yellow, but it really helps brighten the eye. So I'm going to get a little closer to the camera so that you can see how I apply this. It almost kind of matches the whites of your eye, so it really gives it that effect. Oh God, sometimes this freaks people out. Ow. Alright, so the phone got mad at me again, so we're just going to go over this very quickly. I took that liner and I lined the bottom. As you can tell, it really opens up the eyes and it really wakes up the look of the face. I'm taking the Urban Decay Vice Liquid Lipstick in the shade Comeback. I'm just taking that and kind of lining the lips with it. I haven't used this shade in a really long time. I still really like this color. Oh, blocking the lips again. It's kind of the color that works with kind of any look. I like it because this is like a super summery look, and I feel like it kind of works well with it. Yeah, I haven't worn it in a long time, but I still really like it. Well, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me create this cute summer cut crease look. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you have any ideas for future videos, please comment them below. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.